Good day, viewers. This is Tutor ABC. Remember that this video is proudly sponsored by Mmuta. On the board we have inverse of a matrix, and then our subject mathematics. How do you find the inverse of a matrix? Look at it this way. We have the multiplicative inverse of a number. For you to find the inverse of a number, what do? We say 1 over that number. 1 over, let us say, inverse, the multiplicative inverse of 2 is 1 over 2. Multiplicative inverse of 4 is 1 over 4. So in matrix, the inverse of a matrix is written as this. That is A with something like raised to the power of -1. That is the inverse of a matrix. Alright, so how do we get it? We get the adjoint of that matrix. We've discussed adjoints in our previous video. Then they find the adjoint by the determinant. That is the inverse of that matrix. If you can get the adjoint, fine, keep it to one side. Get the determinant, keep it to one side, and then do the adjoint divided by the determinant. Then you have gotten the inverse. But then there is going to be a problem. If you evaluate a singular matrix, that is a matrix whose determinant is equal to 0, you know that getting the inverse is going to be a big problem. The reason is that you can't divide by 0. Of course, in mathematics, we can't get the inverse, multiplicative inverse of 0, because 1 over 0 is what? Undefined. You understand? It is applied here. If the determinant becomes 0, then there is a problem. We say that the matrix is not invertible. If you can take the inverse, we call it is invertible. But if you cannot take the inverse, or maybe if the determinant is 0, you say it is not invertible. So let us look at this. If R is equal to 3, 6, 5, and 10, let us evaluate the R inverse. That is the inverse of R. What do? The first thing to do whenever you are given the inverse of any matrix, whether 2 by 2 or 3 by 3, and again remember that you can only evaluate the inverse of a square matrix. Yes. So how do we obtain the inverse of this given matrix? For you to solve it, first of all, get the determinant. That is the first thing to do. Get the determinant and keep it to one side. Because it is the determinant that will tell us whether it is invertible or not invertible. So we move on and say that R, meaning that the determinant of R, is going to give us this. So we have 3, 5, 6, and then 10. Which is what? We say 10 times 3 is going to give us, we have 3 times 10 or 10 times 3 minus 6 times 5. So we have 6 times 5. We now have 30 minus 30. And 30 minus 30 is going to give us 0. So the determinant is 0, and you cannot divide by 0. That means this is not invertible. That is our conclusion. We said that the matrix is not invertible because we cannot take the inverse, meaning that we cannot divide by 0. Let us look at this one. We say solution. Okay, this is the solution to this. In this case, what are we going to do? Remember the determinant first. We said that B is going to be what? We place this under here. So we have what? 7, 3, 2, and then 2. That means that the determinant of B is going to give us 7 times 2 is going to be 14 minus 2 times 3 is going to be 6. If we resolve this, we are going to get 8. Thank God, we can take the inverse. Beautiful. So the next one is for us to get the adjoint of B. How do we get the adjoint of B? We said in our previous video that for you to get the adjoint of B, all you need to do is to interchange this leading diagonal, or you call it the principal diagonal, or you can as well call it the primary diagonal. So interchange it. 2 is going to be here, and 7 is going to be here, and then negate this secondary diagonal. And if we do that, we are going to have -3. We are going to have here to be -2. That is all. Well, how do we now get our inverse? We say that the inverse of B, which is B inverse, is going to be the adjoint of B from this definition divided by the determinant of B, which is equal to, we are going to have this, which is 2, -3, -2, and then 7 divided by 8. Okay, so this 8 is going to divide all elements here. You can as well do that. 8 divided 2. It is possible. You are going to get 1 over 4. This is going to give us 3 over 8. This one is going to give us -1 over 4. And of course, this one 7/8. Alternatively, because you can come in the options, if it is a multiple choice question, you can as well see something like 1/8 multiplying 2, -3, -2 and 7. This is also correct, because at the end of the day, this 1/8 is going to multiply all the elements in this given matrix. Resolving it shouldn't be a problem because we have learned scalar multiplication. I hope you learned something. Please do well to follow, like, share, and subscribe, so that you are going to be getting notification immediately we upload other videos. I am and still Tutor ABC. Thanks and God bless.